In a small West Virginia town, a tragic series of events unfolded, leaving 4 family members brutally murdered by a killer who was no stranger, and a community in shock. In this video, we'll explore the chilling case of the West Virginia teen quadruple murder and the role of a 17-year-old girl who aided her boyfriend after he killed his own family. Stay until the end to learn about the motives behind these heinous crimes and the consequences faced by those involved. In just a moment, we'll reveal the shocking motives and actions of the 2 teenagers involved in this tragic case, which left an entire family dead in their West Virginia home, and the trial that followed of the underage culprits.
Teenager charged with killing 4 members of his family.
In the quiet town of Elkview, West Virginia, a shocking quadruple murder took place in December of 2020. This crime wasn't committed by a stranger, but by a family member. The perpetrator was a teenaged boy named Gavin Smith, who was only 16 at the time of the crime. Smith lived at home with his family on Cemetery Hill Drive, a residential street that could be any other in small-town America. He shared his home with his mother, Risa Mae Saunders, stepfather, Daniel Dale Long, and 2 siblings, Gage Ripley, 12, and Jamison Long, 3. Their lives were ordinary and unremarkable until the evening of the incident. Smith was in a relationship with a 17-year-old girl named Rebecca Lynn Walker at the time. They were typical teenagers who shared a close bond. However, as the prosecuting attorney Don Morris later pointed out, their relationship was rooted in a disturbing level of selfishness that went beyond typical teenage infatuation. Their desire to spend time together started to border on obsession, a dangerous fixation that would eventually lead to a horrifying act. The fateful night began ordinarily. Little did the family know, Smith had been planning to carry out his horrifying plan for several days, if not weeks. He intended to eliminate his family to ensure he could spend more time with Walker. On that evening, Smith made a video call to Walker. This wasn't unusual, as they often spent hours on calls, as many teenage couples do. However, this call was chillingly different. During the call, Smith carried out the unimaginable act of killing his family. He first shot his mother and stepfather in the head while they slept, ensuring they had no chance of defending themselves or escaping. Then, he turned his attention to his siblings. His 12-year-old brother Gage was also shot in the head, and his youngest brother, 3-year-old Jamison, was found hiding under his crib, also shot dead. The entire incident was carried out with chilling calmness and determination. Smith's girlfriend, on the other end of the video call, witnessed this horrifying act. She wasn't just a bystander on the video call. Instead, she was an active participant. Walker, with a chilling nonchalance, urged Smith to expedite his plan. Seeing him on the screen, brandishing a gun and a knife, she didn't flinch or dial 911. Instead, her words echoed a terrifying encouragement, prodding him to hurry up and do it. This wasn't a silent witnessing of a gruesome act. It was an active instigation and encouragement that pushed Smith further down his horrifying path.
I did encourage him by telling him to hurry up and do it.
Did you say to hurry up and do it?
I believe so, yes. If he did it, then it would give me and him the opportunity to be together.
After the murders, Smith hid in a 3rd-floor room in Rebecca Walker's home along River Haven Road in Clendenin, where he was eventually discovered by authorities. He was found hiding behind a dresser, attempting to avoid detection and arrest. On December 13, 2020, Timothy Saunders discovered the lifeless bodies of his daughter Risa Mae Saunders, son-in-law Daniel Dale Long, and grandsons Gage Ripley and Jamison Long, all brutally murdered by gunshot wounds in their Elkview residence. A 16-year-old boy, later identified as Gavin Smith, was arrested and charged with the heinous quadruple homicide. Rebecca Walker, then 17, and Smith's girlfriend, was also implicated in the murders. Court documents stated that Walker knowingly, unlawfully, and feloniously harbored, concealed, and assisted Smith in committing the crimes. In July 2021, she pleaded guilty as an adult to 4 counts of accessory after the fact to first-degree murder. As part of her plea deal, the first-degree murder charges against her were dropped, and she was later sentenced to 10 years in prison. Robbie Long, Walker's attorney, described the relationship between Walker and Smith as a perfect storm. Walker, a loner at school, struggled with interpersonal relationships and had recently lost her mother. Smith, who claimed to be abused at home, found solace in Walker, and the two became delusional about their futures together. Their relationship spiraled into a tragic turn, culminating in the devastating quadruple murder. First Assistant Senior Prosecuting Attorney Don Morris offered a different perspective on Gavin Smith and Rebecca Lynn Walker's relationship. He disagreed with the characterization of the relationship as delusional and suggested a more insidious motive: selfishness. In Morris's view, Smith and Walker's relationship was grounded in a profound disregard for others. They were so absorbed in their own world and so fixated on spending time together that they were willing to take drastic and horrifying measures to ensure nothing interfered with their relationship. In this case, it led to the cold-blooded murder of 4 innocent lives. Morris's comments cast a harsh light on the couple's relationship dynamics, suggesting an extreme form of self-centeredness that went beyond typical teenage narcissism or even pathological self-absorption. It was a level of selfishness that devalued the lives of others to such an extent that they could be snuffed out with no remorse, all in pursuit of personal desire. Morris also hinted at a more complex interplay of power and manipulation within the relationship. He indicated that Smith might have manipulated Walker to a significant extent. It's not clear from the information given whether this manipulation was emotional, psychological, or otherwise, but such manipulation could potentially have coerced Walker into participating, or at least not reporting the crime. These dynamics can be particularly insidious because they blur lines of responsibility and consent. If Walker was indeed under Smith's manipulative influence, it may have distorted her ability to make independent decisions or resist Smith's murderous plans. However, it's important to note that despite any potential manipulation, Walker still chose to plead guilty to 4 counts of accessory after the fact to first-degree murder. This adds another dark layer to an already disturbing case, suggesting that not only did Smith commit an act of unimaginable violence against his own family, but he may also have used manipulative tactics to involve his girlfriend in his crime. In a heart-wrenching statement, Timothy Saunders addressed Walker, expressing his belief that she could have prevented the murders by simply making one phone call. Saunders now mourns the loss of his family, including his grandson, Gavin Smith, who is accused of the crimes. Gavin Smith was found guilty of all charges in December of 2022, which included 3 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of second-degree murder, and 1 count of using a firearm during the commission of a felony. A judge handed down 3 life sentences for Smith's first-degree murder convictions. Smith received life sentences with mercy for each count, making him eligible for parole in 15 years due to West Virginia state law. For second-degree murder, Smith was sentenced to 40 years, and for using a firearm during the commission of a felony, he will spend 10 years in prison. Doug and Susan Long, Daniel's adoptive parents, spoke during the sentencing hearing, expressing the immense pain and loss they've experienced since the tragic event. They asked for the harshest punishment, with Doug Long emphasizing that human life is a gift from God, and only He has the right to give and end it. Gavin Smith also spoke during the hearing, apologizing for his actions and expressing his deepest regrets. Judge Ballard described the murders as an act of pure evil and stated that he found Smith to be without remorse. He highlighted that Smith had planned the killings for days or weeks in advance, with the selfish motive of spending more time with his girlfriend, Rebecca Walker. In this shocking West Virginia case, a teenage couple's twisted relationship led to the brutal murder of 4 family members, leaving a community devastated and searching for answers. The impact of this tragedy will be felt for years to come as the community continues to grapple with the senselessness of these crimes.